brand new SUV is supposed to feel like an upgrade. But for a lot of Americans, to problems they never saw coming, it quickly turned to buyer's remorse. Massive monthly payments. From expensive repairs, let's take a look at why so many people are regretting their SUVs.
Peter, why does everyone act like the Chevrolet Suburban is the ultimate family SUV?
Because, Brian, moms see it and suddenly think, I have 2 kids, I need a tank on wheels. But reality, it's a rolling money pit disguised as a driveway status symbol. Yeah, sure, 8 seats, 6.2-liter V8, towing like a beast. On paper, it's perfect. But in real life, you spend more time at the mechanic than at soccer practice.
So it's unreliable.
Unreliable? Brian, calling it unreliable is like calling Godzilla a little lizard. This thing breaks constantly, and every repair costs enough to buy a small island.
But why do moms still buy it?
Because once you hit 2 kids, Brian, a minivan isn't enough. Suddenly, you need a Suburban. 3 kids? Forget it. Just buy a school bus and put your name on the side. It's less of a car and more of a billboard that says, I'm tired, I'm broke, but I will dominate the carpool lane. Engine issues, transmission glitches, suspension noises that sound like ghosts. And don't get me started on the fuel economy. It guzzles gas like a frat boy at a keg party.
Wow, that sounds expensive.
Expensive? It's a financial black hole. You could buy a luxury European SUV, or 1 Suburban and a mechanic's vacation fund.
So, how is it to drive?
Imagine piloting a cruise ship through your neighborhood streets. The steering's heavy, the turning radius is a nightmare, and parallel parking? Forget it. You either pray or pay someone else to park it.
Sounds exhausting.
Exhausting, soul-crushing, and completely unnecessary unless you want your driveway to feel like a tank museum.
So, moms buy it thinking it's the dream family car, but it's actually a headache?
Headache. Ryan, it's a midlife crisis on 4 wheels. If you've ever owned one, drop a comment and tell us how many times it's been in the shop, if you can count that high.
So I purchased a Range Rover Sport about a year ago, and I am regretting the purchase. And it's not because there have been mechanical issues. It's been a good car so far. We'll see. I don't know. It's not because I can't afford it. This was a business decision. I saved a lot of money on taxes last year buying this. But it is because I have come to learn that I think nearly every single Range Rover owner plays tennis. And I fucking hate tennis, you guys. I hate it so much. I am not going to do it. I'm not going to play it. I will give up this car before I have to play tennis. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong that there are owners that don't play tennis. Because I really don't think they exist. I mean, there's one right here, and it's going to stay that way.
You gonna play tennis today, or you better give up that damn car, girl? But on a serious note, watch this next clip.
This is the worst new SUV you could buy today. It's a 3-cylinder SUV. Not kidding. 3 cylinders. Look at that tiny little engine. There's my hand. That's literally almost the whole engine. 1.3 liter. I mean, my God, you're gonna buy an SUV with a 1.3 cylinder engine in it? Like, what? I mean, thank God it's at least all-wheel drive, I guess. But seriously, anyone who's buying these Trailblazers, buying a 3-cylinder, it's just your GM typical plastic everywhere, fabric cloth seats, all plastic everywhere. At least you do get some fabric, some nice soft touch fabrics, I guess. I feel like everything on this car is literally plastic, just cheap plastics everywhere. I mean, would you spend $30,000 on an SUV like this? I guess the one saving grace is that it gets good fuel economy, but $30,000 and you got to drive up. I don't think so.
Never buy these used SUVs. I buy and sell cars for a living, and I'm telling you, be careful with these, or you're gonna be making a big financial mistake. First on the list, you got the Range Rover. The moment you purchase this car, the problems begin. Air suspension, electronics, lights on your dashboards you've never seen before. Number 2, the Nissan Rogue. Cheap price, but it's cheap for a reason. The CVT transmission on these, you gotta be really careful. Next, I'm gonna put them together, the Jeep Compass and the Jeep Patriot. These cars are not reliable, too many issues. Next, older X3s and X5s. I love BMW, but let's be honest. Luxury SUVs are great, as long as you can afford luxury maintenance. Cooling issues, sensor issues, and if it's not leaking, it's empty. Finally, nobody talks about this one, the Buick Enclave, the 2008 to 2014 model. This car looks harmless, but trust me, you're better off buying something else. Did I miss anything? You guys are loving these, so I'm gonna be making way more videos like these. Follow me to not miss out.
For something this expensive, you expect something a lot better.
What is one bad financial decision that you regret making in life?
Purchasing my 2015 4Runner literally at that year, because I was paying almost $1,000 every month for this car.
Damn, you had like a high interest rate or something?
No, it was low. The problem was that I didn't put anything down, and I traded in my old car.
Yeah.
right? And the type of Forerunner that it was super, super expensive. And then plus the insurance plus gas. So it was like $1,000.
Damn.
That's stupid money.
Well, today is the day. It is going goodbye. The gas tank is too small. It does not tow enough, and I did not do my research before buying this Lexus. So,
Well, it looks good.
I'm wishing it well. Stay tuned to figure out what I replaced it with. Obviously,
Is that
I'm
a
at a GMC dealership. They sell all kinds of GM products here, though, and they have used cars. So, if you're interested in what I replaced my 2024 Lexus GX 550 Luxury Plus with, stay tuned. Last time I'll have to hear that squealy running board.
This guy's just making one dumb mistake after the other. No offense. He said he didn't do enough research on his Lexus. Just wait till you get your first brand new GMC, how quickly you'll end up back at the dealership praying they buy it back from you. I don't understand. Sad thing is, I really like the way that car looked too. And this should tell you not to be buying cars just based on looks. I'm glad you called BS on MPGs as the excuse for overly complicated new cars. It's a lie OEMs use to make new cars disposable and increase profits. If OEMs and governments were truly concerned about MPGs and pollution, they'd want cars to last as long as possible. It's common sense. Love the phone zombie reference too. See, that's interesting because I thought, as cars have gotten, newer, as they've progressed, they become worse and worse and worse quality.
These problems aren't just frustrating, they're causing people thousands. Watch this next one though.
Okay, here's a quick one. Here's 3 cars that people regret buying. Number 1, cars that are too expensive for your budget. Okay? Number 2, cars they bought emotionally, not logically. All right. Number 3, cars that don't fit your lifestyle. What should you buy instead? Something simple, reliable, and affordable, like a small SUV, like this Mazda CX-5, or this Buick Encore. Makes a lot of sense. So if you want help picking the right car, message me before you buy this weekend, okay?
And we're not even close to the craziest story yet.
This was my $40,000 mistake. I got this Hyundai Palisade to rent for Turo. I've had it for about 10 months, but only the first 3 months I was able to rent it out. It's been hit with constant recall, and they take forever because they gotta find a solution and then get parts. So that's like 6 months. And it still has a recall and there's nowhere near when they're gonna fix it. So I just gave up and I sold it to Carvana for $35,000. It was the best offer I got out there. I'm actually only taking a $1,500 loss from what I owe to what they gave me, but it's better than just having it for 8 more months without being able to rent it out.
The first minor issue is the plastics. They do not hold up well so far. You can see here on the front end, the top layer is already starting to peel. And I don't keep the Land Cruiser in the sun all day. I have it in this giant shed, so it's in the shade. While we're talking about plastics, the plastics show scratches like crazy. They should have used this more durable plastic that's on the Grenadier that just doesn't show stuff as much. Now, the next minor annoyance is the tire offset fitment setup. I've gone up to 34s on my 250 Land Cruiser, and I had to do this to have enough clearance for off-roading. You have to do the stock offset, which is a plus 65 if I remember right, so super positive offset. Jeep and Ford with the Wrangler and the Bronco, respectively, allow you to have larger tires with not a crazy aggressive offset, but with a more flush offset. And again, this is quite minor, but to have big tires in the Land Cruiser, you gotta have kind of a dorkier look, unless you're willing to cut stuff up. The next thing is just how cheap a lot of the materials sound and feel with this new Land Cruiser. As long as they are durable in the long run, it won't be that big of a deal, but for a vehicle that starts at $55,000 and can go up to over $70,000, you think they could have used slightly more premium materials. Most of the off-road tech with the new Land Cruiser is standard across most of the packages, but stuff like the stabilizer bar disconnect is an option. I think they should just make all of it standardized. Because again, this starts at well over $50,000 for a 1958, and the fact that a 1958 doesn't have, if I remember right, multi-terrain select and the stabilizer bar disconnect is a little bit disappointing. Toyota should offer more off-road tech for less money with the new Land Cruiser. That's all for the minor annoyances with the Land Cruiser. Let's get...
I bought a Toyota Grand Highlander in December. Just don't really love the vehicle. I'm making double payments on it, and I wanted to see about trying to get into like a GX 550 or something like that.
How much do you owe?
62 right now. It's a Platinum Max. So I was talking to the dealer I bought it from, and they were going to try to get me into a Land Cruiser, but I just know the resale on a GX is better.
So first and foremost, you are a bit upside down on the car, quite a bit.
Yeah, I know, like one dealer, I was looking at a GMC Yukon diesel, and they were going to offer me 57 for it, but I think that was just because they had a buyer ready to go. But one Lexus dealer, they said lower 50s, like 53, but they didn't see the vehicle yet, so I was hoping that I could get them up.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
So I didn't know if I drive it for a while, maybe till the fall, or drive it a year, maybe I won't lose too much more money.
I'll probably be the first guy that's selling you a car to tell you to hang on and wait and not get a car.
Yeah.
I think that you're going to win on both sides, where on one hand, I think you're going to drive the vehicle that you're currently paying for, you're going to pay it down a bit more, you're going to have less negative equity. Most importantly, I think the GX market's going to cool off just a tiny bit in the next year.
In the next year.
Yeah, they're not so hard to come across. You might get a little bit of a better deal on the car.
Yeah.
And then you're winning on both sides.
And I was trying to sell it outright, but I knew that I was going to lose, sales tax.
I would not waste your time with a private sale on this car. You have to be selling it significantly cheaper for somebody to buy it from you versus just paying a tiny bit more, maybe, and buying it from brand spanking new. I would waste zero time private selling this car. I would literally just maybe wait a year. Feel free to circle back with us and try to score an incoming GX so you can maybe get a little bit of a better deal.
I just bought a used Lexus ES hybrid. I call it beater with a heater, but I bought a 16 just to drive around.
I love that.
I'm just going to drive this Lexus and hopefully put some miles on that and not put too many on the Highlander. All right. I appreciate it. Thank you. I will circle back probably next year around this time and see where we're at.
This next story is even worse.
3 reasons as to why I traded in my 2022 Palisade Calligraphy for a brand new 2026 Honda CR-V. Let me just preface that the Palisade I had, I absolutely loved. I loved it. But right from the get-go, it had bad juju. Like, within the first 30 days, someone in a huge ramped up truck literally took the whole front end off my vehicle. I didn't have my vehicle for 7 months. I moved from Washington to Florida without it. Recently, it has had some issues. I did have the extended warranty that was a 10-year, 100,000 mile extended warranty. But let's talk about the number one reason as to why I was thinking of trading in my car. Recently, I only had 54,000 miles on it, and there was issues with the engine. It was bucking. I had no oil. I had to fill up the oil before my oil change was due. I brought it into Hyundai. I heard there's a recall on the engine, and they're like, that's kind of true, but not really. I was like, oh, okay, well, what's the longevity of this vehicle at 54,000 miles? I'm already having issues with the engine. Like, I understand what you're saying. I'm like, but do you? Because I paid, y'all, my car payment was $650 a month. I'm not paying that to have a shitty engine. And my husband was like, this is a sign that maybe we really need to get serious about looking at another car. So reason number 2 as to why I was okay with downsizing. Like I said, I had a Palisade Calligraphy. It had the panoramic sunroof, the ventilated seats, front row, second row, captain's chairs. It had everything I wanted, literally everything I wanted. I loved this car. I wanted to drive this car until the wheels fell off. It's a 3rd row car, and I've always felt like I needed a 3rd row car, but my daughter's 13 and she's fixing to learn to drive soon. You know, we have to think of the future. So I was okay to downsize, but I wasn't okay to downsize with the same car payment, and I wasn't okay to downsize in something that felt like a cheap piece of shit. That's another reason why I was okay for a smaller car. I was willing to compromise for certain things, because I was also, moving on to number 3, I was also really looking forward to less of a car payment. There were many times that I was looking at getting cars and it was like literally only gonna save me $50 a month. And I was like, no. And what I ended up doing with this vehicle is I was actually looking at a Toyota RAV4, and then the Honda CR-V popped up, and I was like, okay, you know, I'm okay with a Honda and a Toyota. The longevity of those vehicles are like out there, you know what I mean? Like 200,000 miles, which is what I'm going for. I'm going for that. So I started looking at the Honda CRV and they said that had a smoother ride, it felt better. So one day after work, I was like, I'm just gonna go sit in the car and see if I like it. I kind of fell in love with it. I was like, okay, I'm okay with this. It's a smaller vehicle. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but I'm okay with that because mentally I was ready to downsize. Then they ran the numbers. I ended up leasing this vehicle and it's less than $390 a month. So automatic, yes. I got the hybrid, so I can also get up to like 40 miles a gallon. So a lot of different reasons as to why I was like, yes, yes, yes. The back seat actually kind of reclines, so you're not sitting straight up. You don't feel like you're sitting really high. Those kind of all check the boxes. Am I happy with this purchase? Absolutely. And if you are considering downgrading because you want to save money and you're okay with a smaller vehicle, look into the Honda CRV, y'all. I love it. A car is a car. It gets you from point A to point B. Why spend $100,000, $80,000 on a vehicle? I really don't drive that far. So I'm looking forward to the longevity of this vehicle. Yes, it is a lease, but you always have the option to buy it in the long run. And my daughter, I think this is going to be a great vehicle for her to learn how to drive on it. Buy the smaller car. Downgrade. It's gonna be okay. It's not that deep, y'all. Find something that you love, and if you want to save, I'm saving like $250, so it's a win-win for me. Honda CRV, baby. I got the Touring, the 2026 Touring model. It is the metallic gray, black interior. I love it.
I used to regret buying an SUV. Every time I washed it, I had to wipe down the door B pillars again to clean off the water that seeped in. That was until my friend asked me, surprised, why haven't you installed anything there? It turns out many people add aftermarket sealing strips on the B pillar like the one sold on TikTok. I bought one to try, and it only took about 5 minutes to install. After putting it on, no more water gets in when I wash my car. The door closes with a much solider sound, and even the wind noise is reduced. That's the link in the bottom left. If you have the same issue, you really should give it a try.
This is where the regret really starts.
Picture this. You just drove your brand new SUV off the lot, that new car smell still hanging in the air, and 6 months later, you're desperately trying to sell it, willing to lose thousands just to escape. Sounds crazy, right? But it's happening more than you think. IC Cars just analyzed over 18.5 million vehicle sales, and they found that while the average new car resale rate is just 3.6%, some SUVs are being dumped at rates 8 times higher. Today, we're counting down 12 SUVs that buyers regret so much they're selling within the first year. Let's get into it. Number 12, Volkswagen Taos, 2024 to 2026. You know an SUV is in trouble when Consumer Reports ranks it as the second least reliable car they tested in 2024. The only vehicle that scored worse, the Chrysler Pacifica hybrid minivan. That's the company you're keeping with the Taos. The problems aren't subtle either. Owners report brake squealing that sounds like a dying cat, engine electronics that throw check engine lights for no apparent reason, and mysterious rattles and leaks that dealers can't seem to fix permanently. One owner on the VW forums documented 3 dealer visits in the first 6 months just for transmission shuddering. Each time the service advisor said it was normal operation. Spoiler alert, it wasn't normal. The 2025 model got a refresh with a bigger touchscreen and a slightly more powerful engine, but VW also raised the price by $1,000. So you're paying more money for the same underlying problems. That's like charging extra for a nicer paint job on a sinking ship. RepairPal ranks the Taos 19th out of 26 subcompact SUVs, which is a polite way of saying there are 18 better options. Annual maintenance runs $682 compared to $301 for a Honda HR-V. That's over double the cost for a vehicle that's less reliable. The 8-speed automatic feels like it can't decide which gear it wants. It hunts, it hesitates, and sometimes it just gives up and picks a random gear. Not exactly confidence-inspiring when you're merging onto a highway. If you want a subcompact SUV that won't make you question your life choices, grab a Honda HR-V, Mazda CX-30, or Subaru Crosstrek instead. Number 11, Jeep Grand Cherokee, 2024 to 2026. The Jeep Grand Cherokee made Consumer Reports' 10 least reliable vehicles list, and honestly, it earned that spot through sheer determination to break down in creative ways. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, fuel economy. You're getting 19 to 20 miles per gallon in real-world driving. That's 2015 numbers in a 2026 SUV. At $3.50 per gallon, you're basically hemorrhaging money every time you drive to the grocery store. But bad fuel economy would be forgivable if the thing was was reliable. It's not. The Uconnect 5 infotainment system has more mood swings than a teenager. One day it works fine, the next day it's frozen on the startup screen, and by Wednesday it's rebooted itself 3 times during your morning commute. Here's a fun story. A couple in Michigan is currently suing Stellantis because their brand new Grand Cherokee shut off on the freeway. Not a warning light, not a limp mode, just full shutdown in moving traffic. Their SUV spent 8 months at the dealership during a 39-month lease. That's 20% of the lease with the vehicle in the shop. The plug-in hybrid 4xe is even worse. Stellantis recalled over 91,000 of them for sudden power loss. Imagine you're merging onto the interstate and your $65,000 Jeep just decides, nah, I'm done. Terrifying doesn't begin to cover it. Now, if you're enjoying this parade of automotive disasters, smash that like button. It helps me keep exposing vehicles that'll wreck your budget. Repair Pal shows annual maintenance at $666, which sounds reasonable until you factor in the $4,500 transmission rebuild or the $2,800 electrical system repair that seems to hit around 60,000 miles.
Man, make sure y'all know what y'all buying. Y'all buying these new SUVs, they gonna break any doggone way, man. I already know they gonna break. I've been seeing hella people that's going and getting cars and they just not lasting, man. If y'all know anybody who getting an SUV that ain't lasting, don't be afraid to be asking and drop them in the comments for one time with some passion. Ooh, let me know, man.